Welcome to Data Forward, the podcast that keeps you ahead in the fast-evolving world of enterprise AI and data management. We bring you expert insights, actionable strategies, and the latest trends to help you stay on top. Ready to shape the future of data? Let's Data Forward.
Hi, I'm Ramon Chen. I'm the Chief Product Officer at AcceldAta, and welcome to another Data Forward podcast. I'm super excited today to have Lofan Leung, the Director of Data Analytics and Product Ecosystem at ServiceNow. Welcome, Lofan.
Well, thank you for having me, Ramon.
No, this is a long time coming. We've been working and partnering together for many years now, and I'm excited to have you on today because we're going to talk about all things data, partnerships, ServiceNow's vision, the partner ecosystem, but why don't we get started by you introducing yourself? You've got a really interesting background, deep experience at companies like Dell, SAP, and so forth. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Lofan Leung. I led the data analytics partner ecosystem at ServiceNow with a strong focus on data management and data governance partners. So I work with partners like yourself to build innovation, integration, and I own the go-to-market motion to take these joint solutions to the market. You are absolutely right. So I previously also worked at SAP Business Objects and Dell Technologies. I have a little bit over 20-year experience in data analytics and product management. Now that I think back, I'm like, oh my God, the times go by so fast. And then I later left the big tech, joined a startup company in Austin called Data.World. What really drove me to join this startup is really how this company think about AI and data, right? Looking back, they were at least a decade early, talk about ontologies, knowledge graph. It's really the foundation to make AI to be successful. I'm just really, really grateful to have that experience. And now seeing the market finally pick up, it's truly exciting. And I suspect this is also why ServiceNow acquired Data.World, as they understand how critical to get your data foundation right? If you want to scale your AI, you better get that foundation built solid. To be honest with you, it's truly exciting to be on this journey with ServiceNow because now we can bring the Data.World vision and scale to the point that we can only imagine previously.
Amazing. Yeah, and I noticed on your LinkedIn profile, you have this headline or tagline, democratize data to create a better world. What made you put that on your LinkedIn profile?
So I am a data nerd. I have been working with data for 20 years or even beyond that, right? If I look at how business function today, I can't even imagine name one business don't have data.
Of course.
If you don't have your data, you're going to run out of your business, right? If you don't use your data correctly, you're going to honestly, I don't think the business can function, right?
Of course, yeah.
Just think about the few years ago, isn't that Southwest airline, the system was done. And can you imagine this chaos without data? So I think it's getting the data accessible and usable for everyone. It's very important. Without data, we cannot build a better world. That's kind of how I think about it.
That's a great philosophy. I'm of the similar mindset to you, of course. Great minds think alike. And so we most recently, last month, we were at ServiceNow Knowledge. It was an amazing event, conference. Bill McDermott, your CEO, unveiled a vision of ServiceNow's workflow data fabric. Things like the AI control tower, Auto, the capability, the Data.World rebranded as ServiceNow Data Catalog. Tell us a little bit about that positioning and how it's been received.
Yeah, so I first wanted to mention that ServiceNow Workflow Data Fabric, it's not just another data tool, right? It's fundamentally how we're imagining how enterprise software should think about the intelligence and the action layer. They need to work closely together, right, to
Hmm.
provide that experience that Bill McDermott, our CEO, was mentioned at Knowledge. So for many years, like, you and I have been working in the data space for decades.
Yeah.
We used to treat data and workflows as almost like two separate problems. And to be honest with you, they are not. They need to
Right.
be work closely together. So
Mm.
we have data teams building data infrastructure. We have the process team building workflow. They don't really talk to each other. They speak different languages, which is really the fundamental problem that we're trying to solve, because you could have insights sitting in your analytic platform with no action take out, right? Which is kind of a waste, right? You spend all this $millions building your analytics, and people don't act on it. Maybe they do act on it, but not in time. So by the time
That's right.
you have time to go out on it, the market already left. So
Right.
so this is
Everybody's
truly
expecting speed of AI, right? Speed of,
exactly. And this is truly why what ServiceNow Workflow Data Fabric it's built for. It's to really bring that closed loop, that insight to action, that workflow experience end to end to our customers. And there are the way we think about it, it's like the three integrated pieces that work together to collapse all these fragments together, right? So the first piece is Auto, what you mentioned earlier.
yeah.
Auto is our enterprise AI experience that acts as that intelligence front door experience to everything you can imagine you need to operate enterprise. I want to really call out, it's not just a chatbot, right?
Yeah.
It's not a chatbot. It's an orchestration layer that can handle complex end-to-end business workflows day to day.
Mhm.
So basically, you can tell Auto what you're trying to accomplish in plain English, and Auto will go figure out which systems, which departments, what data need to be involved, and go get the job done for you in real time. The key takeaway, it's like, think about Auto. It's not just does everything from a vacuum, right? It's not just a chatbot to act like they know, but they don't. It truly can pull the intelligence from behind the scene. And now that come to the second pieces that I want to highlight is the pyramid analytics. So we acquire pyramid analytics because we realize that the decision intelligence has to be embedded natively to where the business workflow happened,
Absolutely.
and not isolated to a different BI platform and tool. So Pyramid has the ability to connect all of your data, right? Whether you live in Snowflake, Databricks, your ERP, your CRM, or in your data lakes. So the idea is we can help bring all this data together without moving or copying the data, also using our zero copy architecture. So the point is we wanted to make sure that we have an intelligence layer that can understand all of your data, not just the data in ServiceNow, but also data sit outside of ServiceNow. And we can combine and truly surface that insight in plain English that the AI agents or our customer can understand. So let's say if you ask Auto, right, question like, oh, I wanted to see which supplier at risk, right? Auto will pull that intelligence from Pyramid Analytics. And then behind the scene, Pyramid Analytics engine will do all the reasoning and across all your data in your supply chain data. Now then coming to the third pieces, what I
Right.
was mentioning, the data catalog, like how does Pyramid Analytics have all this intelligence, right? So data is one thing, but like you need the brain. You need the brain to organize the data, understand the context. So that's one of the reasons why they acquire Data.World and rebrand the Data.World. I wouldn't say it's rebrand. We actually also have built deeper integration into the ServiceNow ecosystem. And basically what that does is acting as the connecting tissues, right? And not just like bringing the data where they lived, but also adding context, adding the business context to help the AI agent or human to understand what does that data truly mean behind the scenes, right? I think that is a fundamental shift from how we see ourselves as not just the other vendor in the market to talk about data catalog. It's more like for documentation. That's not what it is, right? It's truly about we build the catalogs for not just for the data team, but also we build it for the workflow, because the data catalog is the brain that can help the workflow how to behave, what to add. I would also think about that it's more like the business term semantics, right? Like think about if you wanted to make a decisions about whether a customer is truly credit worthiness, right? You don't want to just think about what tables you need to pull from the analytic data warehouse, right? You wanted to think about the real world business concept behind the scene. What makes this customer truly credit worthy, right? So the data catalog that we bring into the picture is we can help the workflow AI understand how that can map to a real world business concept, right? And what type of governance rule we need to apply. And we help bubble up those hidden contexts and show the data lineage. So what type of information that we can guide the AI or the humans to the right decision. So that's kind of how I think about the data world, data catalog, fit into that equations, right? It's truly just trying to make sure that your AI is smarter, right? And you can take action, truly more intelligently and not just doing some guessing work.
That's amazing. Yeah, beautifully explained in terms of all of the strategic acquisitions that ServiceNow has made with Data.World, Pyramid Analytics, and then prior to that, MoveWorks and others. It really is all coming together beautifully. Gaurav Rawari also presented the session, and the demo was done. Tim Gasper, your colleague, presented an amazing demo that showcased all of these capabilities in sort of use case scenarios. Let's talk a little bit about sort of the sort of data quality aspects, right? Because that's kind of where Acceldata comes in terms of, being one of your partners and sort of aligning closely to provide sort of the trust in the data that feeds AI. Tell us a little bit about how sort of we got together. I mean, I know how we got together, but I'd love to hear from your perspective. What drew you to sort of working with us as a partner, Acceldata, and what's the ongoing relationship in your evolving partner ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one key part I left out earlier is I started my career in data analytics, but I actually started my career as a product manager at data quality. So I certainly understand the important role that data quality play, even in the old day, right? When you think about you have a bad data, your report, it garbage in, garbage out.
That's
But
right.
now in the world of AI, that it's even more critical to have high quality data. AI is only as good as the data behind the scene. So what drove me to specifically, start early on, researching, a good partner ecosystem for this space? It's truly two things, right? We're looking for partners that can help us to, to be able to handle the complex data environments that our joint customer has. We basically want to work with vendors, best of breed partners like the leaders like yourself that can help us to catch issues much early on, right? We wanted to have the ability that we can detect data quality issue across the entire data estate, right? And has the ability to scale extremely well because, we are serving, some of the biggest client on the planet. And we needed to have a partners that can help us to handle, like monitoring data quality and data observability at scale, have the ability to to handle, complex data environment, not just your modern cloud SaaS application, but also on-prem solution, right? We need to look at the entire data estate in order to make sure that the workflow, like the behind the scene can execute smoothly and accurately. So, and that's the reason why we wanted to partner with Acceldata.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And we were delighted to engage with you and your team because the value proposition sort of hits differently on many fronts, right? The first goal, obviously, is to prevent the bad data, as you mentioned, right, from getting into the pyramid analytics dashboards as an issue, right, in terms of decision intelligence, but then also now increasingly the AI agents. So the quality and catching the issues upstream before it's wasted effort downstream, and then also not have the business users or the agents make bad decisions on poor quality data. So that's number one. So the integration, loosely describing to the audience, is Acceldata curates and monitors for different rules and policies throughout the data supply chain. And if any issues occur, we quarantine the data and let good data through, or we allow you to circuit break and stop data from flowing downstream. Now, the quality of the data is very important from a metric and an indicator perspective. So we feed that information into the ServiceNow data catalog so that your business analysts and business teams can see and trust the quality of the data. So that's kind of obviously a massively differentiating thing for people who need trust in the data. The second thing is helping with your data engineers fix issues faster or prevent the issues from even happening in the first place. And this is where the ServiceNow sort of integration on the incident management side is also key, right? So that we would send the issues directly as tickets to ServiceNow, and then your Now Assist can look at all of the metadata that we send to figure out, okay, well, these are the probable root cause analysis scenarios so that the data engineer can address it much, much faster, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. And I also wanted to highlight that it's not just for the integration we bring in for your metrics, right? For the data quality, health, visibility. It's not just about providing that visibility for your data team. We actually, think about the consumer. Now it's AI agents. So autos, right? So we actually want to make this a lot more autonomous experience, right? By ingesting, the metrics from Acceldata. We don't just to know what the problem is happening, but we know exactly why this problem happened because you're able to bubble up some of those insights, the intelligence that can help us to perhaps it's not even a data engineering team to resolve the issues, right? If we have enough those insights and metrics, we can also have a agent to help resolve those issues very quickly in real time. I think that's a very important part that we need to highlight because that's truly unique in the market, and we can help basically make sure that your system is always on, your AI agent is always on, always accurate, and confidence is the piece. And we believe that bringing in that trustworthiness, the confidence, making sure the data is high quality and also is reliable at all time, it's the key that can help scale AI and also deliver the value, the ROI that our customer is looking for.
100%. And one of the things that, 2 weeks after Knowledge, we had our autonomous conference in San Francisco. And the goal here is to have agents remediate and correct and receive the data that's efficient. One of the things that was highlighted at our conference was the fact that if you have bad data, then the agent shouldn't be executing business insights and decisions. And what that is ends up saving you money because unnecessarily burning tokens while acting on bad data is just a waste, right? Just like having to rerun data pipelines because bad data got too far downstream is a waste of money. So a lot of times now with this sort of trend that people are talking about token maxing and there's not enough tokens to go around. I think being efficient and using AI to help AI, if you will, through this sort of autonomous data management or agentic data management, which is our platform and our product, combined with auto, is really key.
Absolutely. I cannot disagree anymore. I think that's also one of the reason why we embrace a partner ecosystem, because working with partner like yourself can really help us to roll out unique innovation, co-innovation to the market. And the plan is we wanted to continue to deliver more value to our joint customer. I think that's the most important, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then joint customer is key because AccelData, like obviously ServiceNow, is completely used by 95% of the Fortune 500 Global 2000, and AccelData specializes, as you pointed out, in these large complex landscapes, petabyte scale, hybrid, on-premise. There's a lot going on in these environments, and they need sort of a holistic system. And the collaboration and integration between our two companies really delivers that.
Absolutely.
So what's next with sort of the partner ecosystem and partner program? There's certainly sort of a lot of excitement in the marketplace. Your customers are literally reaching out to us saying, hey, we see your partner with AccelData. Your partner with ServiceNow. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the integration is working? What does the partner ecosystem future look like?
So we are absolutely fully embracing an open ecosystem partnership. We believe that we deliver more value working with partner like yourself, like I mentioned earlier, and we wanted to provide options to our customers. Now the mindset really shifted, right? We cannot do everything ourselves. We wanted to work with partners that we can disrupt the market. So the question is no longer, okay, what can we be? Or the question now is like, hey, what can we be with partners that are leading to the space that we can bring truly innovation that never seen before? That's kind of like the philosophy and mindset here at ServiceNow. So you mentioned what's next, right? So obviously we have built a very fantastic integration with AccelData that we can bubble up some of this visibility, whether the data is in a good state that you can consume. The next step is you talk about the integration with that ServiceNow ticketing and stuff. We want to continue to bubble up this type of integration, surfacing all this health signal across the entire ServiceNow company, right? Because if you think about Workflow Data Fabric, we're the unified data layer that bring in all these different signals, right? We have the catalog, we have all these tissues to deliver context, and we wanted to make sure that every single application in ServiceNow is able to utilize those insights autonomously, right? So, so more to come. Definitely, we wanted to continue build that closed loop integration, right? Be able to take action right away, not just about, okay, I know this data quality, I know this data has quality. Okay, you give me this information, I can do remediation faster. No, we wanted to actually cut that root cause analysis, in seconds that we can take action. That's kind of like the vision that we wanted to go after. So truly exciting time. I think that we are able to come this far. It's truly amazing. And thank you for your partnership. I'm super excited to bring into the next wave of innovation to the markets working with partners like yourself.
No, thank you, Lofan. And to close, final thing. So what would be your message to sort of ServiceNow customers who are watching this sort of collaboration between AccelData and ServiceNow? What would be a call to action for a CDO or a CIO in your mind to be able to start to take advantage?
I think definitely, you guys probably are aware of that Workflow Data Fabric, now it's bundled into what we call the AI native skills. So basically, every single ServiceNow customer will now have access to Workflow Data Fabric because we believe data is the foundation, it's the key to scale your AI. So the call to action is start using your Fabric credit with Workflow Data Fabric. We have really great integration with best of breed partner like yourself, Acceldata, to truly take advantage, of what we have built. You have to adapt the solution. So call to action is definitely start using and drive value and work with partner with us. We'll continue build out the next wave of innovation with our customers. We cannot build this on our own. We certainly wanted to work with more of our partners to make sure we build the right thing.
Fantastic, Lofan. Well, thank you so much for spending the time with us here and sort of giving us the insights. And again, yeah, it's truly a wonderful partnership between Acceldata and ServiceNow. Look forward to you perhaps coming on in the near future, and we can talk about some additional sort of evolution of the landscape and the evolution of the partnership. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Data Forward, the podcast that keeps you ahead in the fast-evolving world of enterprise AI and data management. We bring you expert insights, actionable strategies, and the latest trends to help you stay on top. Ready to shape the future of data? Let's Data Forward.